What's up guys, welcome back to the Crest of Courage card game channel. Today I'm going to be doing a deck profile for my take on the new hotness that is Shinegreymon Burst Mode. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so starting us off with the eggs, I am playing the red base, which is, of course, the Draw 1 Koromon. So with this Koromon, it just has, when this Digimon has Omnimon or Greymon in its name, once per turn when attacking, trigger draw 1. So, in my opinion, this is the best egg for the deck because it just gives you that little bit extra draw power. You could play the yellow base version that has the yellow Koromon that gives you an extra 1000 minus on opponent's Digimon, but I prefer this one for the extra draw power. Alright, next up for our level 3 rookies, of course, first of all, we're going to be playing 4 of the BT13 Agumon. This is probably the best rookie in the whole deck. This is your main searcher. All of these have the same, where they can Digivolve for 1 on a red or yellow level 2. However, they can all also Digivolve for 0 on a Koromon. So as long as you have a Koromon egg, you're good. They'll all Digivolve for 0 normally. I just wanted to point that out. But this one is your main on-play searcher. So on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Greymon in its name and 1 Marcus Damon among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So of course that gets you all of your upper tier pieces as well as your tamers. So really, really strong search power there. And then the inheritable effect is great too. When one of your yellow or red tamers becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn, so that little bit of extra, DP reduction on opponent's Digimon is nice. It can kind of immediately wipe out some of their rookies, or just, make some of their other Digimon weaker to the point where you can attack over them if necessary. But next up we have this Agumon here from EX4. So this one is a personal favorite of mine. The other one is probably the best for the searching and everything, but this one has so much potential otherwise. So also Digivolves for 0 on Koromon, but at the start of your main phase, if you have a red or yellow tamer in play, gain 1 memory. So just by having this guy out there, you can constantly be gaining memory every turn, which is nice. He'll probably, be deleted before he gets you that too much, but it is kind of nice to just play him, play a tamer, then on your next turn, you move him out, get a free memory, right? So that's really cool. But then he also has a great inheritable effect, which is your turn, once per turn, when one of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended, draw 1. So of course, our tamers are going to become suspended quite a bit. It just gets you that much extra draw power. And then we have this new BT13 Agumon here. So he just says, of course, Digivolve for 0 on a Koromon like the rest. But then his effect is main once per turn. For the turn, one of your Marcus Damons is also treated as a 3000 DP Digimon and can't Digivolve. So that just turns any one of our Marcuses into a Digimon, which is great. It's really useful because, one of the main Marcuses we play doesn't really have a way to suspend himself for his effect. So you want to use this Agumon or one of our Shinegreymons we'll take a look at later, to be able to turn him into a Digimon that he can attack, become suspended, and activate his effects. So that's the main reason we play this one. Also, he has a pretty nice inheritable as well, that when one of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. So it does help, again, to clear some of the smaller bodies. But that's pretty much it. You could also play a Agumon X Antibody if you wanted. I would say maybe this one you could cut, a couple of him if you wanted to squeeze in a couple Agumon X's. They are pretty good. They do, give you that extra draw power for Digivolving, or they give you that extra search for on play or when Digivolving to be able to search some Greymons. I just personally don't really like to use them as much anymore because you kind of end up bottom decking your Marcuses, which is a, feels bad moment. So for that reason, I'm just playing 4 of these 3 now. Alright, but up next we have our level 4 champions here. So starting us off with this one here, we have our EX4 Geogreymon. This one does exactly the same thing as the EX4 Agumon that I like so much, which is just at the start of your main phase, if you have a red or yellow tamer in play, gain a memory. Also has the exact same inheritable, your turn once per turn. When a red or yellow tamer becomes suspended, draw 1. So just a lot of, resource gaining from the both of them. This one also, similar thing across the Geogreymons. They all Digivolve for 3 on a red or yellow, but they have the same effect here that they can all Digivolve for 2 from any level 3 with Agumon in its name and Dinosaur in its trait, which is why one of the main reasons we play the Agumons that we do play, because they all have dinosaur in their trait. And that's another reason I suggested potentially Agumon X Antibody, because it also is a level 3 with Agumon in name, and it has the dinosaur trait. So it's another option for any of them to Digivolve on for just 2. Moving on next, though, I'm just playing 3 of the new BT13 Shinegreymon. I've seen a lot of people play this one at 4, and, you know, that's definitely good. This is definitely one of the better Shinegreymons. It's just that I personally prefer him at 3. So, of course, he Digivolves for 2 on any of the Agumons with dinosaur in his traits. But his effect here, when Digivolving, search your security stack, and you may play 1 red or yellow tamer card among them without paying its cost. If you did, recover 1 from your deck. So that's great. You know, getting to search your security stack for your tamers and pull them out early is amazing. However, I just feel like it's a trick that you really only need to pull off once, maybe twice. So I really don't feel like it's super necessary to have 4 of this guy. Half the time I Digivolve him and there's no Marcuses in there, so it's, you know, it doesn't really get me anything. And then sometimes there's 1 and you can pull it out and yeah, you recover 1 and maybe you put another Marcus in there. But I don't really feel like it's something you need to pull off multiple times. As long as you can get that effect off once, it's usually kind of pays for itself. It's really, really powerful. Then he also has the same inheritable effect from the other BT13 Agumon, which is just when one of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended, you may delete an opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. So again, some low-level deletion there. And then I'm also playing 3 of the BT12 Shinegreymon. This one, again, it's an effect you can only really get off once when Digivolving. If you do not have a Marcus Daemon in play, you may play 1 from your hand without paying its cost. So that's great. If you happen to have 1 in your hand and you don't already have 1 on the field, then you get a free Marcus as well. Again, that's why I'm only playing 3, because it's an effect you really only get the 1 time. I do like his inheritable a little bit better. Again, it's the same as the other Agumon, that just when one of your yellow or red tamers becomes suspended, you know, once per turn, your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. So it's just some more DP reduction on there. It's another free way to get out of Marcus. He also Digivolves for 2 on an Agumon with dinosaur trait. So yeah, that's kind of the main reason I think 3 of those is okay. They both have really, really powerful effects to just play a tamer for free, but you can really only pull it off once, maybe twice with that guy, but it's kind of iffy. You could probably drop this guy to 3 and play him at 4, or play that one at 4, you know, depending, really just up to personal preference in my opinion. I like this one for all the extra resources it can gain you. So that's it for the level 4s. All right, but on to our level 5s here. We've got 4 of the new BT13 Shinegreymon. This is by far the best Shinegreymon in my opinion. So of course, Digivolves for 3 from a Shinegreymon, so you don't have to worry about the 4 cost there. But it has, when Digivolving, you may play 1 Marcus Daemon from your hand without paying the cost. There's no other criteria there. It doesn't matter if you already have 1 or whatever. So just play him or Digivolve him, get a free Marcus every time. Super, super powerful effect. Then he also has all turns once per turn. When one of your red or yellow tamers is deleted, you may place a Marcus Daemon from your trash on top of your security stack face down. And he also has that same exact effect as an inheritable. So again, a very, very powerful effect. You know, you turn your Marcuses into a Digimon, they swing at security, get deleted, he puts them back on top of your security stack, which actually is a really good way to be able to utilize this guy again later, because then you'll know there's a Marcus Daemon in there. But I feel like a lot of times, you know, it's just going to get attacked at some point, or maybe even trashed or whatever. Like on your opponent's turn, they'll probably end up attacking you, and it'll just play it back out again anyway. Since you know it's already on top, I wouldn't really bother trying to go into another Shinegreymon to get him out. Like, just let them attack you kind of thing. But yeah, it's a really powerful effect to be able to kind of recover a security whenever one of your Marcuses is deleted, because we're only playing Marcus, but it does actually work with any tamer that would be deleted. You can put a Marcus on top, which is great. Up next, we have the BT12 Shinegreymon, and this guy is super great as well. So also Digivolves for 3 on a Shinegreymon. When Digivolving, if you have a yellow or red tamer in play, gain a memory. So we can basically Digivolve for 2 on a Shinegreymon, which is really nice, cheap Digivolution. Then he just has the same all turns effect. Once per turn, when one of your tamers is deleted, you can place a Marcus from your trash on top of your security stack face down. Same exact inheritable effect and everything. So it's just a nice way to get that effect on another card with a super cheap Digivolution cost, and that's really powerful. But I'm also playing 2 of the Shinegreymon X Antibody. So this one can Digivolve for 1 on a Rise Greymon. Otherwise, you will have to pay the 4. So you really want to just Digivolve this guy for 1 on one of these guys, if at all possible. But when Digivolving, you may play 1 yellow or red Tamer from your hand without paying the memory cost. Then, if Rise Greymon or X Antibody is in its Digivolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP for the turn for each red or yellow Tamer you have in play. So really, really strong. Another free play of a Tamer and some more DP reduction on your opponent. But then his other effect here says, your turn, for each Tamer you have in play, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP. So very good odds. He's going to be at least like a 10,000 when you get this one out. And yeah, that's pretty great. So you can just attack over most things at that point, especially, you know, most even level 6s, because you'll usually end up giving them like -2 or -3 from something, and then he'll be plus 2 or 3k as well. So you can usually end up attacking over just about anything that's already suspended, which is really nice. And, you know, potentially getting another draw from your Koromon egg or whatever. So yeah, I really like this setup. Just a lot of free playing of Tamers, cheap Digivolution here. Ideally, if you have to Digivolve into this one, you can just play this one right over it, because, you know, you get the memory back and you just use that memory again to Digivolve into this one in a perfect world. Or another great combo is Digivolving into this one for 3, playing the new BT13 Marcus that has an on-play effect to suspend him, and if you have a Agumon or Greymon, gain a memory. So you gain back the 1, Digivolve into this one for 1, and then play another Marcus and do all kinds of cool stuff from there. So yeah, I like this lineup a lot, and that does it for our level 5s. All right, on to our level 6s, our Megas. I'm playing, for now, just a 3-3 split of these two. First of all, our BT12 Shinegreymon has the effect, of course, where he can Digivolve for 3 on a level 5 with Rise Greymon in its name, so that can be on the X Antibody as well. When Digivolving, for each yellow and or red Tamer you have in play, one of your opponent's Digimon and all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3,000 DP for the turn. So that is really strong, just a lot of DP reduction there. And then your turn, all of your Marcus Daemons in play get plus 3,000 DP and gain security attack plus 1. Now, of course, that doesn't matter if you can't treat them as a Digimon, so you do have to make sure you have ways to make most of them a Digimon, or at least have most of the BT12 ones that can make himself a Digimon. But yeah, just really, really strong effect to be able to give your Marcuses security plus 1 and plus 3,000, and then you make everything else minus 3,000 based on how many Tamers you have. Very, very powerful. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking about doing 4 and 2, because I kind of want to make this deck a little bit more aggro. But currently right now, I do kind of like the 3-3 split as well, because this one is more defensive. So first of all, it can also Digivolve 3 from a level 5 with Rise Greymon in its name. So again, it can go over our X Antibody just fine. Start of your main phase or when Digivolving, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your Marcus Daemons is also treated as a 3,000 DP Digimon that can't Digivolve and gains blocker. So just Digivolving into this, you can just have one of your Marcuses become a blocker that can kind of, you know, save you for a turn or whatever. And then all turns, once per turn, when one of your red or yellow Tamers becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP for the turn. So that's really, really strong, because obviously, you know, if they attack you, you block with the Marcus. As soon as he becomes suspended, boom, something gets minus 6k. It's kind of nice because you can kind of block with the Marcus and then also minus 6k on something else, so that you can maybe delete something and block an attack and save yourself from 2 attacks. Or sometimes you can, you know, minus 6k on whatever's attacking him, and that way he can actually overpower them. So it's really strong, especially it works really, really well with the new BT13 Marcus as well, because if you turn him into a blocker, he has an all turns effect that when he's suspended, you can give minus 3k to something, and he also gains you memory if you have a Agumon or Greymon in play, so you could potentially just end their turn right then and there if they're at 0 or something. So yeah, very, very powerful defensively. I do like him a lot for that. So it's kind of nice, you know, depending on your situation, what's going on, you can kind of go into this one to kind of swing for game, or you can go into this one to kind of delay, you know, save yourself a turn or two and try to finish them off, you know, in a couple turns once you've regained your footing or whatever. So yeah, I kind of like the 3-3 split. Like I said, I might do 4 and 2 if I was to turn this into a more aggro build. But for now, this works pretty well. But on to our level 7s here. This is, again, if I was to turn this into a more aggro build, I would cut the Shinegreymon Ruin mode for a third Shinegreymon Burst mode. And we'll take a look at them for why that might be. So first of all, I'm playing 2 of this guy for now, and that works well enough. He has the new Burst Digivolution mechanic that says Burst Digivolve 0 from a Shinegreymon by returning 1 Marcus Daemon to your hand. At the end of the Burst Digivolution turn, trash this Digimon's top card, which would usually mean him. And then he has, when Digivolving, you may play 1 Marcus Daemon from your hand without paying the cost. For the turn, the tamer played by this effect is also treated as a 12,000 DP Digimon, can't Digivolve, and gains Rush. So it's a super powerful effect. Essentially, the combo there is, say you have the Shinegreymon that gives security +2, right? So you attack with the Marcus, it checks 2, assuming it doesn't die, you could go into this for 0, add Marcus to your hand, play the Marcus back out for 12k, attack again, get another check in with that, and then he also has your turn once per turn. When one of your tamers becomes suspended, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So it's kind of like checking 2 again, because he'll check 1 with 12k, but also trash 1 from this effect, and that's already like 4 security that you're wiping out, and this guy can usually kind of finish it off from there, you know, assuming you've gotten in a chip damage here and there before that. So super, super powerful effect. Yeah, you really want to see this guy. He can really just completely end games like so quickly. And that's the main reason I kind of want to bump him up to 3. But for now, I am playing 1 of the Shinegreymon Ruin mode because I did pull the pretty alt art. So I want to, you know, take advantage of that for a little bit. But he's pretty great. Digivolves for 4 from a Shinegreymon. So a little bit of a reduced cost. Still pretty hefty though. Digivolves for 5 normally on a yellow or purple. But yeah, when Digivolving, on deletion, until the end of your opponent's turn, all of your opponent's Digimon get minus 5,000 DP. So super powerful DP reduction effect. And then end of attack, delete this Digimon and one of your opponent's Digimon, and recovery 1 deck. Then if you have a tamer in play, hatch 1 Digi-Egg card to an empty space in your breeding area. So yeah, with this dude, you Digivolve into him, give everything minus 5k. You attack with him, get a check or whatever, delete a Digimon, and then he, at the end of attack, deletes himself and any one of their Digimon, and then gets another minus 5k to everything on their side of the field. So yeah, very, very powerful. He can then, you know, hatch an egg, so maybe you can Digivolve and start a new stack from there, but it gives your opponent a minus 10k on their side of the field, so anything they, you know, bring out a raising or try to hard play is going to like instantly die unless they've managed to build up like a level 6 in there, and even then, you know, unless you have a bunch of like DP plus effects, it's going to be super, super weak. So again, he's kind of the more defensive option, applying pressure, you know, keeping that minus 5 to minus 10k on their side of the field for a turn is just super oppressive and makes it really hard for them to do anything for a turn. So it kind of buys you a turn to, you know, bring out another Digimon out of raising or something, play out another Marcus, swing for game, that kind of thing. But again, I kind of want to switch this to another burst mode when I get one. But for now, this works pretty well. All right, next up for our tamers, we have, of course, 4 of the new BT13 Marcus Daemon, and this one is so, so good. So at the start of your turn, he sets your memory to 3. He's a memory setter for you. On play, you may suspend this tamer. All turns, when this tamer becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets a minus 3,000 DP for the turn. Then if you have an Agumon or Greymon in play, you can gain a memory. So it's really, really strong to just be able to play this guy out with all of the free effects that we have to play a Marcus. And then you can just immediately suspend him, give something minus 3k, and gain a memory. So even though he's a 5 cost, it doesn't really matter. You're almost never going to actually be playing him for 5 because we just have so many effects that can just play him out for free. And then we have the BT12 Marcus, which is really kind of the heart and soul of the deck here. So he has start of your main phase if you have a Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in its name in play. By paying 1 memory for the turn, this tamer is also treated as a 3,000 DP Digimon that can't Digivolve. So there you go. He just turns himself into a Digimon for 1 memory, so long as you already have an Agumon or Greymon in play. Your turn, when this tamer becomes suspended, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a yellow card with Greymon in its name in your hand without paying the cost. So that is super, super powerful. Not only does he turn himself into a Digimon, and then he can attack. When he becomes suspended from attacking, he can immediately Digivolve one of your Digimon into a yellow Greymon, which is basically anything in the deck. So you can get a free Digivolve. Of course, you're still going to draw for your Digivolve and everything, do any when Digivolving effects to play out another Marcus or something like that. And if you're going into the BT12 Shinegreymon, he then immediately, when Digivolving, gives him plus 3,000 and security +1, so he can be checking 2 at 6k, and all their security Digimon are going to be super weak. So that's pretty much the combo right there. You know, you have like a Rise Greymon, play him out, swing with him, go into Shinegreymon, and then you check 2, go into Shinegreymon burst mode, return him to your hand, play him out again, attack again. So yeah, that's pretty much the main wombo combo of the deck. It's crazy powerful. It's super fun. I love punching with Marcus for game. And then last but not least, I also just threw in 1 random copy of the old BT4 Marcus Daemon, just because why not? I had an extra space I was playing around with, and I thought, let's just throw in another Marcus. It works decently well, you know. Start of your turn, he sets you to 3 memory, just like the new one. But you also have your turn when one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name attacks. You can suspend this tamer to gain a memory. So that's not bad. You just get a free, you know, memory here and there. But also, it's just another target for a lot of our effects. You know, we have so many effects that look for a Marcus to play a Marcus, etc., etc. Just having that one extra one to be able to do that when otherwise you maybe didn't have one of those in your hand is just nice to have. So yeah, that does it for the tamers. All right, so lastly for the option cards, I'm just playing these 2. I've got the Sunrise Buster, which is limited to 1, or else, you know, maybe I would just play 2 of that, I don't know. But for 5 cost, it says, main, you may play 1 yellow or red tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. Then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn for each yellow and or red tamer you have in play. So that's really strong to just, you know, if you already have like 3 tamers in play and you use this, play another one, it's going to be like minus 12k on something. Or if you just have like 2 maybe, and use this to play out the new BT13 Marcus, who can then immediately suspend himself to do another minus 3k on something. Super strong, can delete really high level Digimon with that. And also, if you do play that Marcus, you instantly gain a memory back, usually if you have an Agumon or Greymon, so it's only a 4 cost to play this. So that's just so much value. And then lastly, we have the newer from BT12 Shining Blast, which also is just a 5 cost. It lets you play out a Marcus for free, and then for each yellow or red tamer you have in play, 3 of your opponent's Digimon get minus 2,000 DP for the turn. So this is more for if your opponent's going wide, has a bunch of weaker Digimon, you can minus 2k on up to 3 of them, potentially minus 4 or even 6k or more, so it really helps delete wider boards, and again, you can potentially gain a memory back instantly with the other Marcus. But that's it for the deck. All right, so that does it for this deck profile. If you enjoyed it or got anything out of it, make sure you smash that like button. It does help me out a lot. And if you enjoy Digimon TCG content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.